I'm sleepy, but I'm going to speak this dream. I'm trying to do this video, and my kids, they headed to work. My daughter, I don't know if she ran through the bushes or what. Let me stop. Okay, I don't really know too much about what's going on. I'm going to speak what I saw. I look so sleep. I'm sleep for real. Like, it did heavy sleep on me. That's how I felt. So, I had a Jesus dream. I felt so heavy. Like, I felt this heaviness just building up to this point. So, I'm just like, barely can stay woke. And then I go to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I had this dream, Jesus in the dream. And he, like, take me somewhere. So, he asked me to take him somewhere. So, I'm driving. And so, as I'm driving, I'm looking, like, outside the vehicle. You know how you look through your rearview mirror? As I'm looking, it was just so much lawlessness. It was so much chaos. It would just seem like a lot of distractions. Seem like it's a lot of noise. So, wherever we were driving to, this is what's going on the outside. But of course, on the inside is peace, it's quiet, and wherever we were going to, he was talking to me. He was talking to me. So, somewhere down the line of everything that was going on in this process of where we supposed been going, and he talking to me, so I supposed to have remembered this, y'all. I don't have no clue what he told me. So, somewhere in the dream, I encountered a deaf and mute, I say, spirit. It was in the form of a boy. You know, the Bible say we entertain angels unknowingly. When I'm dreaming, I'm in my visions, and I be like, I don't know who these people is. They is angels. All these people is angels. I have come to realize this. I'm like, that was an angel. But sometimes I could tell from their stature, like they'll be real, real tall, and I know that's an angel. But if they come in the form just like me, my size, my height, it's no way to know that these people, that these angels is angels. They look just like me and you, really. So I come to realize if it ain't people I know and I just see these random people I be talking to, these people is angels. So when they when they speak on this, you entertain angels unknowingly. My visions, I'm always in interaction with angels. Like I'll be like, if it ain't Herman, it's an angel. Like automatic. By default. If it ain't Herman, by default, it's an angel. So in my dreams, I'll be like, did I know who that was? And if I don't have no clue who it was, who I'm with, I'll be like, that was an angel. Automatic. So, but this in the spiritual. So, you know, you deal with the physical, which is a manifestation of the spiritual. So in the physical, if you entertain the angels unknowingly, you also doing this in the spiritual too. And you got to realize, me, you know, God got angels, and his classification of all these different types of angels, he got Hermans. If it ain't a Herman, it's an angel. Yeah, I'm tickled. So when I say that, if you look at all these species, like even the subsets of species, it's all connected to angels. The fallen angels, when the fallen angels mated with these women and they created Nephilim, these are angels. This is an angel hybrid at this point. When these Nephilim, when God sent the flood and the Nephilim was destroyed, the bodies of these Nephilims were destroyed in this process, and you got demons, that's still a byproduct of angels. The demons, because those are the Nephilim children. So when the Nephilim died, which were the children of the fallen angels and the women, they created Nephilim. When God destroyed, you know, not just, you know, man, because people think it was sin and God just came for man. You read the Bible, it say creation. It say creation. And when you deal with rainbow, this rainbow is not just a covenant with Hermans. This is a covenant with all creation that he was speaking of with Noah when he created that covenant. It was for creation. Everything he created is wrapped up in this promise that he has sent out through the rainbow. In this process, God, you taking me, like, where we going? I'm finna read it right now. Y'all know I do not plan nothing now. I just let the Spirit take over. And right now I'm in Genesis 7. I'm finna read this real quick. It say, then the Lord said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. So when he read this, nowhere do it say that his household was righteous. Let me point this out. Nowhere do it say his household was righteous. It said, I have seen that you are righteous. So just because he was righteous, he was able to save his whole household. And you'll see this throughout the Bible, even with Abraham and Lot. that it's just funny to me when I think about Abraham and Lot. But because Abraham was like this, like, militant type. I just see him as the militant type man who ready for war. And he do not play about Lot in this process. God, I ain't trying to go too far in this. Every time Lot got caught up in something, Abraham was ready. Like, we got to go get him. Like, Abraham came back with him every time. Like, Abraham, like, yeah. Okay, so when I read it right here with the great flood, he said, I'm going to read this again. Then the Lord said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. So in so many words, if you are righteous, you can save your household. Because even when they got on the ark, as soon as they got off the ark, the sin began again. So that means somebody who was on that ark wasn't so righteous and holy now. Because as soon as they jumped off that ark, sin started right back up where it stopped at. Well, it really started back from the beginning. Because at this point, sin has reached a peak. God sent the flood. So it just slowed it down, so to speak. It just slowed down the spirit of sin in this process. So when he sent the flood, he sent it to stop and slow everything down. And that's what it did. So, let me see. So now I'm reading Genesis 8, verse 20. And it say God's covenant with creation. So people, they look and they see the rainbow and they think that it's just humans and God just got this covenant with humans. But it's all creation. God created this covenant. Okay, let me get into this. It say, then Noah built the ark to the Lord and took every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered a burnt offering to the altar, on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. This is what he's saying. This is his covenant. He said, while the earth remains, it will be seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. Said, while the earth remains. So pay attention to the earth in this process, because that's dictating everything going on in this process. If you look and focus in on the earth, everything revolved around earth. He said, while earth remains, you're going to deal with seed time and harvest. You're going to deal with cold and hot. You're going to deal with winter, summer, day and night. It will not cease as long as earth remains. When God taught, you really do have to read, like, take everything word for word, like the smallest little detail. Like, he's very direct, very stern with his words. So when I read it right here and it say, as long as the earth remains, it's a key element. The earth better remain in this process, because if the earth ain't remaining, it's going to be problems. Yeah. I'm tickled, y'all. It's no way we're dealing with earth. Because as long as we here, earth going to be here. We all connected. So you don't really have too much worry about that. Okay, let me keep going. So then verse 9 it say, so God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on the birds of the air. My page is bent up, y'all. I know. It say for the birds of the air, on all that move on the earth. This is very important because this part of the promise. So when you be seeing the rainbow and stuff, like, let me tell you my interpretation of seeing the rainbow in this process. Let me finish reading. It say, on all that move on the earth and on all flesh of the sea, they are given into your hand. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I have given you all things, even the green herbs, but you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is its blood. Surely for your life blood I will demand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of every man brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. Pay attention to this, because God cannot tell a lie. So everything that he speaks, that's what it is. Like, period. Your feeling do not matter in this process. I just need to let you know this. Your feeling do not matter when God say what he say in his word, in his Bible. Your feelings do not matter at all. So, right here he said, whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made man. God gonna take it personal. When you unalive one of his creation, he taking it personal. So, and as for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply in it. Okay. So I'm trying to get down to the rainbow, y'all. It's like, then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and it's for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds and the cattle and every beast of the earth with you, and of all that go out of the ark, every beast on the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy earth. When I look at first, God, he's speaking and he's saying, never again will he cut out flesh by flood. But then you see, he speak on earth and flood too. We connected in this process. So you see him establish a covenant with humans. He said he will never again, let me read again. He said, I will establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy earth. So we is in alignment with earth. So when you see all this stuff going on, because like God really, in so many words, style, God, you take me some. I'm trying to stay focused, y'all. But earth perform many functions in alignment with man. And one of the functions of earth is when God sent his wrath, so he won't destroy us, he has built earth to take on the wrath and the anger that he wants to send down. So a lot of time earth have to take on the sufferings of us. So if you go back to Genesis, he cursed earth. Like when Adam and Eve ate that fruit, you will see that he cursed earth actually. So right here you see him establishing a covenant with us, but he's also establishing a covenant with earth in this process. Okay, y'all. And I go back, well, let me go and read it now since I'm on it. I don't want to lose y'all, but it's taking me, because I don't want y'all to get lost with what I'm saying. So I'm just like calling it out as I'm doing it. So right now I'm back in Genesis when Adam and Eve, when they sinned, when they was disobedient to God, God cursed the earth in this process. Earth didn't have nothing to do with what's going on, but to give us grace and mercy. Earth had to take on some of the sufferings of what happened, the sufferings of man, so to speak. So, I'm going to read it right here. And when you look at it, even though people see it as a curse, I really don't even see it as a curse, really. So, I'm going to read it right here. So, I'm reading Genesis 3 now. It's like, to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. And pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. I'm finna get into this right now. Before, it was no desire for your husband in this process. So when you had the perfect world, everything was perfect. Before sin got into the equation, before death got into the equation, before time got into the equation, it was no desire to your husbands in this equation. Now what happened was, when God sent down his judgment, he said, now your desire should be for your husband. That's a curse. That is a curse. So people walk around with their heads high talking about they under the submission of their husband, but this came after the fact. But you know why? Because God talked to me. We needed a type of covering. We as women, we needed a type of covering, because before we didn't have our husband to cover us. So when Adam and Eve is in the garden and Eve is tempted to eat the fruit, Eve is not covered by her husband in this process. So the snake was, well, the serpent, I ain't gonna call it a snake, it wasn't no snake, but the serpent was able to, get to Eve, because she wasn't covered by her husband in this process. And so God see what's going on. God already knew from the jump he was gonna have to come into the world. And you got to realize everything worked for God good in this process. So when he said your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you, God is giving the dominion to the man, because he know that now we have to deal with Satan in this process. So he's trying to establish a covering in this process. God is smarter than Satan in this process. So God is trying to set everything up for us to pass the test, y'all. And one of the ways to pass the test, you got to have your husband rule over you. That's part of passing this test. Because at first, it was no husband ruling over Eve, and she was vulnerable in this state, and she was able to be tempted because she didn't have the covering of her husband. So in this process of him sending down the judgment for the disobedience, he's actually trying to send a form of protection through the disobedience. This is a double-edged sword right here. When it says your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you, be real careful who you choose to marry out here. The God put the rule in place. This is law. This right here is law. Use wisdom when you pick your husband in this process, because whoever you pick, he will rule over you. He got the clearance, spiritual clearance to rule over you. So if you marry somebody and they do not have God as the head, because in order for this to work, God got to be the head. So God got to be over your husband. Your husband have to look to God, and then you be under God. But if your husband ain't following and ain't in alignment with God, your husband ruling over you is a curse. And y'all both gonna be in hell. Your husband gonna send you to hell. It's like the blind walking the blind. So in order for this to work with marriage, your husband have to be able to lead you. And how is he gonna lead you? He have to be in alignment with God in order to follow this hierarchy that God got in order. And if this husband and this man is not in alignment, and you married to this man, you is gonna suffer with this man. Y'all both gonna be oppressed. Y'all both gonna be under oppression. Y'all both gonna be under attack. If your husband is your covering, and you telling me he can't pray for you, but he probably be your covering. This your husband now, and he head over you, but he can't pray for you. You vulnerable for attack. You open for Satan to come into their relationship. The only way this right here even work, and the way God strategically set this up, is your husband, that man, the one that's the head, is gonna have to put God as the head. It ain't gonna work no other way. So This spiritual, and I'm talking about on the spiritual rule and the spiritual law dealing with this. So when you deal with this right here, you be real wise, because the Bible don't say nothing about he got to follow you. He got to follow God, and then you can follow him. And if he out of alignment with God, contract is void. It don't say that. So you have to pick wisely. So you pick somebody that don't have God as head, and that's your husband, and you pick them and you in covenant with him, you still under submission of him, whether he following God or not. So in this process, you women's, you pick wisely. You pick somebody that put God as head, that can listen to God, because he got to cover you in this process. You got to have some kind of spiritual covering, you women's. You got to be covered, and you and your husband's supposed to cover you. But if your husband is out of alignment with God, he still got the authority to rule over you. Y'all just gonna be the blind walking, the blind leading the blind out here. Shoot, make sure if somebody supposed to be your covering, your head, make sure they know where they going and they can lead out here in this process. So God got me zoomed in on this right here, because people feel like the contract is void because the person who they chose to marry is out of alignment with God. You still in alignment, and you still obligated to your husband to rule over you, even though he's not in alignment with God in this process. You still obligated to that. You still under that covering. Yeah. God, he gonna give you, God gonna, you can't just, okay, he out of alignment with God, let me get a divorce. God got to give you clearance for you to even get the divorce. And some people, he makes them stay in their marriages. And he make them suffer for choosing somebody that was out of alignment with him. Like, God punish you like that. You can be punished like that. A lot of people who get out their marriage, God eventually will let you get out of it, but you going to suffer while you in it. Like, you ain't going to just jump in it and then try to think you going to avoid the consequence. You're going to deal with consequences behind picking somebody that's not in alignment with God. I'm going to tell you this right now. If this man is supposed to be your husband, and he's supposed to be your head, and he's supposed to be your covering, and he's supposed to lead, make sure you pick a man that can do all of the above, and he can pray for you, because you're going to need spiritual covering. And your spiritual covering come from your husband in this covenant that God got set up. It's a spiritual hierarchy. So I'm finna read this one more time, then I'm going to where I need to go into. It says, so your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Your desire should be for your husband, and he should rule over you. When Eve was in that garden, and the serpent was able to get to her, because Satan is very smart in this process, smarter than any human. Satan knew she didn't have that covering. So Satan was able to get to her, and she was able to get to Adam. So God saw the flaw that existed with the woman not having a covering. She just was not strong enough. So to make her more stronger in this walk, because now we in a fallen state, God set it up where now your husband shall rule over you, and your desire should be to your husband. That's a good thing if your husband is following in the alignment with God. This is a real good thing. But if you marry somebody and they not in alignment with God, and your desires is to a man that's not in alignment with God, you gonna feel it. Shoot. You is accursed. For real. Let your desire be to your husband, but your husband is totally out of alignment with God. Your husband don't even believe in God. And your desire to a man that do not believe in God, what you think that outcome gonna be? Man, you gonna be like full of demons. Because if God ain't the head, guess who the head? Satan. And Satan is finna use that man who the head to take you down through there. Take me through there, take you through there. That's what you gonna be doing. Why that song come from? I don't even listen to that stuff. What if he said, take me through there? Now you don't want nobody that's not led by God to take you through there. So in this process, because God got me zooming in on this, he put me on Genesis. When they say your desire should be for your husband, he should rule over you. If God is not the head, and your husband is under God and you is under your husband, you good. But if God is not the head, it's only two heads, God and Satan. That means Satan is the head. Your husband is under the authority of Satan. So you got, if he not in alignment with God, he in alignment with Satan. It's not no other way to put it. So he in alignment with Satan, and your desires is to your husband. You finna deal with hell on earth. You finna deal with hell on earth if the man that you under, the man that's ruling over you, your leader, worship Satan. Oh, Satan finna have his way. Satan is finna have his way in that marriage right there. So y'all women, y'all be real careful with who you pick, and you discernment with who you pick. Because when you in covenant, you can't just jump out of covenant. It don't work like that. God do honor the divorce. But he ain't gonna just tell you, okay, once you figure it out, he gonna let you stick it out. Like he might make you be in a marriage for like 5-10 years before God finally give you clearance. God is gonna give you clearance to leave. But you gonna get drugged down through there. I'm gonna tell you that much. If you pick somebody that's not in alignment with God in this process, and your desire is to your husband, but your husband don't put God first, and your husband got the spiritual authority to rule over you in the spiritual realm, he gonna take you through the mud. Make sure God is the head, because God is love. So if God is love, your husband will know how to love you. But if your husband don't got God as head, it's not love. Satan hate love. So you finna deal, you gonna feel it. You gonna feel it. So that's how I'm saying dealing with that. So now I'm going to what he wanted me to say. So y'all, God took me off subject, but I'm jumping back on subject. Because what I was saying originally is, if you look at Earth is in alignment with us humans. And in this process of Earth being in alignment with us humans, a lot of the curse that we should deal with, like a lot of the suffering, a lot of the judgment that's supposed to be on us, God shifted to Earth. And God did design Earth. One of the reasons God designed Earth was to take on some of our sufferings out here. Because we in the flesh can't do it. We can't take on the type of suffering that God sent out through his wrath and through his anger. We ain't built for it, but the earth is built for it. So right here, because I just left from Noah, and he making a covenant with all creation, which include earth. I'm back on Adam, and this dealing with the curse. And the curse went to earth. So now he going to Adam. It's like, then to Adam he said, because you have heeded the voice of your wife and have eaten from the tree from which I commanded you, saying you should not eat of. Cursed is the ground for your sake. See? Cursed is the ground for your sake. Cursed, the earth is cursed because of man's sake. God decided to curse earth. So he kind of taking the weight of the judgment off of us, and he put it on earth in this process. He said, cursed is the ground for your sake, and told you should eat of it. In all the days of your life, both thorns and thistles, it shall bring forth for you. And you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, and to dust you are, and to dust you shall return. So, that's what I'm telling you. Earth take on a lot of sufferings because of man. When you go back, and God, he taking me here with this, because I'm really trying to get back to Noah, God. He taught me about Cain and Abel, and how earth cried out to God about the blood. Like, earth is crying out when y'all have to bury these bodies, when these bodies got to be buried through murder and all this other stuff going on. Earth is crying out to God about all this. Earth don't want to carry the weight of the murder, the blood on his hands. Like, earth don't want no parts of it, really. So I'm finna read Cain and Abel, then I'm finna go back to Noah. So this right here, Cain and Abel. I'm trying to get back to where I probably getting back to, but God taking me here But okay, it say right here. Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" He said, "I do not know. I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Then he said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and vagabond you shall be on the earth." So you see, when God placed the judgment on Cain, instead of totally destroying Cain in this process, God shifted some of that wrath and that anger and judgment to the earth. So the earth holds a lot of purposes. And one of the purposes is carrying some of this weight off of us from our judgment. So when you look, you're going to see, it be talking about from the ground. God actually designed us from the dust, right? From the dust he created man, right? He said, from the dust you leave, from the dust you shall return. We got a unique relationship, humans and earth. I don't think we fully utilize earth in the way that God designed for earth to even be in our life. Like I don't feel like it. I'm finna go back again to Genesis, because God did take me there. So Genesis 1, the history of creation. Before God even created man, God already knew we would need a place to go. God already knew this. So in the beginning, while he's creating this earth for us, which is a gift to us, earth is a gift to us. We have to, like, this a gift. When he designed us, he knew he had to make a place for us to go in this process. He put a lot of care into creating this earth for us to make it as comfortable as possible in this fallen state that we in. God got other creations out here. Like in the beginning, like if you look at it, I ain't gonna read all of it. Say in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and God saw the light, and it was good. God divided the light from darkness. God called the light day and darkness night. So the evening and morning were day one. Then God said, "Let the firmament in the midst of the waters, let it divide the waters from the water." Then God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. So God called the firmament heaven, and so evening and morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and herb that yield seed, and the fruit that yield fruit according to its kind, whose seed in itself on the earth." And it was so. So the earth brought forth grass and herb and yield seed according to its kind, and the tree that yield fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw it was good. So the evening and morning were the third day. Then God said, "Let there be light in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be signs for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for light in the firmament of the heaven to give light on earth." And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. He made stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light and darkness. And God saw it was good. So the evening and morning were day 4. So God is doing all this overtime. He trying to make it extremely comfortable and good for us. Everything was good. Everything was good. He created earth knowing what would happen. And with him having all knowledge of knowing what would happen, he also designed earth to be able to withstand the curse of man in this process. But not only do earth hold the curse of man and have to take on some of the judgment that man faced, which earth is already like knowing this. Earth is in alignment with God. So if Earth is in alignment with God, Earth has full knowledge of why it was created in the first place. Like, Earth has knowledge of all this. So Earth knows it has to take on the curse of man in this process. And get what? Earth be crying out to God too from the ground. The blood of some of these people, spilling innocent blood. Earth don't want to deal with this. Do you think Earth want to deal with hell constantly expanding? Earth don't want to deal with this. But Earth had to be designed also for hell. And so when God designed this earth that he gave us as a gift, which was good in his sight, and he told us be fruitful and multiply in this process, this is God's gift to us. We have to embrace earth. We have to plant. God wants us to plant our gardens. He wants everything fruitful, multiply. It's good in his sight. Because God knew us being stripped from heaven. He just want to make it as comfortable as possible in this process. So he's creating earth out of love for us. And he's trying to make sure he equip earth with everything it's going to need to withstand and carry not only us, them demons too. Get what hell is. So when God designed this earth served a lot of purposes. Certain purposes, and this process, all the purpose that God created earth to do is giving God glory in the end. It's still all of it's going back to God, and all of it is giving God glory. Everything he created give God glory, including earth. So now I'm back on Noah, and I'm finna close this out. And basically what I was saying is that when God created the rainbow was not just for man. All of God's creation is wrapped up in this rainbow. It's not just us. Them birds you see flying around, that was part of this covenant of this creation that God established when he created that rainbow. Them trees you see, they part of this preserving and covenant that God established with creation when you see a rainbow. So the rainbow is not just humans, it's a creation. All creation is wrapped up in this rainbow that we see. And it's God's promises to everything he created in this process. Okay, you say. And so I'm finna read this, then I'm finna let y'all go. It say, then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, as for me, behold, I established my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, every beast on earth with you, of all that go out the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall flesh be cut off from the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy earth. God said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and earth. Him and earth. Yeah. The rainbow is bigger than you. You seeing the rainbow, it's bigger than you. All of his creation ready to look and see that rainbow. All of them is well aware what a rainbow represents and what it means. All of his creation is wrapped up in this rainbow. It shall be, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The water shall never again become a flood to destroy the flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. So when you look at rainbow and people think that, oh, it's just a sin of man. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than our sin, what was going on during this time. Because you deal with the Nephilim and all that. And I ain't finna get into that. God had me going into a lot, and I was trying to really just break it down. But it's a lot to speak on, a lot that's going on in this process. So I was just trying to emphasize the fact of the rainbow and how the rainbow includes all creation. All creation is wrapped up in this rainbow. And this is a reminder to God of the covenant he established. Let me give you my interpretation of this. Sometimes God need a reminder. God need a reminder. Sometimes God gets so mad with the sin when the violence reach heaven, when the sin reach heaven, when the earth is crying out to God about when you gonna do something about all this blood I gotta carry in the ground, all these bodies I gotta bury in the ground. Once all this is reaching up to heaven and crying out to God, he have to look at the rainbow or he'll destroy it all. So the rainbow is a reminder to us about the covenant that's established with him, but this rainbow is also a reminder to him not to destroy creation. The rainbow reminds him of the covenant not to destroy creation, because in this process, when you dealing with his wrath, can't nothing be in the presence of his wrath. Can't nothing be in the presence of that level of his wrath and his anger. And in the process, even God need a reminder. So he even looked to the rainbow like, oh, okay, I remember my covenant. I can't use no flood to destroy this. I'm mad, but I can't be mad like that. God be ready to tear it down, rebuild it back up. I'm telling you that right now. Especially when it comes to sin. So, the rainbow serves many purposes. I'm telling you right now. It reminds us of, the covenant of God established with all creation. But it also reminds God not to destroy creation through his anger, through his wrath in this process. He need a reminder. So, and just like he need a reminder, when you deal with the Bible and you deal with all that right there, sometimes you have to remind him. Sometimes you have to be like, God, you said in your word, by his stripes I'm healed. It's understood, but it carry more weight when you can remind God of what he already told you. Like, it gonna carry way more weight. And you can get him, you throw it back at him like, look, God, this what your word said, ain't it? Touch my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Ain't this what your word? You cannot tell a lie, right, God? So a lot of time with me, I just remind him of the word that he spoke. Like, God, you said it now. And you cannot tell a lie. So if I know you cannot tell a lie, and this is what you said, then that's what it is. That's what I do. So, y'all, I don't know. My mind went a lot of different places because I probably speaking on my Jesus dream today. God took me a lot of places with this because I don't do too many videos. But I haven't been doing too many, but I've been saying stuff. But back to my dream, and then I'm finna let y'all go. My dream. So me, Jesus, we ran around in the car. He told me he wanted me to take him somewhere. So we ran around in the car. He talking to me. I do not remember what he was telling me in the dream. So while we ran around, I see all of this going on outside the vehicle. I see a lot of chaos. I see lawlessness. I see distractions. It was just a lot going on the outside. But none of it could get on the inside. Like, none of it could get nowhere near me whatsoever. So I told you in my dreams, my vehicle is a form of protection. I told you this. So whenever I'm in my vehicle, can't nothing on the outside get in. And when I was with Jesus in the dream, nothing on the outside is coming in. Basically, it's a form and place of safety when I'm in my vehicles, in my dreams. And Jesus not the only one who be in a vehicle. Sometimes I be with angels and I be riding around driving and I be seeing all this stuff. Like when I was seeing the cars and I kept saying dead on impact. And I kept saying the stuff with New Orleans. I was driving around in a car with an angel. During that time, too. When the guy was showing me all that stuff. So, I do not remember what he was telling me. What Jesus was telling me in the dream. But it was very important. So, I'm like, God, why would you tell me something then wipe my memory clean? Like, why you wouldn't let me remember what was told to me? Like, I need to know this. That's how I'm feeling right now. Because he said some stuff. And I think that was the most important part. I don't even think the distraction and the chaos and the lawlessness, what all I was seeing on the outside, was even really relevant. I really was trying to see what he was talking about when he was sitting in the car with me. I have no clue. So he might come back and give me a rundown on what's going on. So y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all be safe. But yeah, you have to work with earth. Earth is here. God, that's our gift. We is here together. So when you trying to plant some food, like me in my garden, I be like, I need some fruits. I need my blueberries. Like, you got to realize the purpose of earth in this process. Earth can take on the curses and have to do a lot, but also God put earth here to multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. So when Jesus seen that fig tree, thought God, all of it come together. But when Jesus seen that fig tree and it ain't have no fruit, and he cursed that fig tree, it served a purpose. That tree got to produce fruit for you. It got to. Yeah, it's in violation if it don't. It all serve a purpose. And it's for you and your betterment while you on this earth in this fallen state. So you take full advantage of what's going on around you out here and what God gave you and equipped you with through the earth too, to help you make this walk as comfortable as possible, to give you the resources you need to do what you need to do out here. That include like even growing your own food. Earth got to produce that food for you. That's her job. Earth has to produce that food for you. You plant something, it better grow. That's how I be talking to them. I'm like, look, we here together. I got these seeds, and I need some fruits. I got to eat. And let it do what it do. So, I'm finna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But my mind is just kind of open. Like, I'm like this Pandora box. God got my mind open a certain way. So, I'm seeing stuff different than just like on like a normal level. Like, it's like a paradox. Like, it's like interdimensional. Like, I'm seeing stuff on the way. Like, my mind is on a way different span mentally, spiritually, than just like a regular person that's just looking like, ooh, earth. Let me throw my bag of let me throw my bag, my lunch bag out the car. Let me throw all my trash out and trash earth. Earth is not God. This is God's gift. Earth is a gift from God in this process. Take care of earth. Take care of earth. God, this is God's gift. Why would you trash earth? And God gave us earth. And that's our gift out here. God wants you to take care of the gift that he gave you, including earth. That's your gift. Take care of earth. We got to be here. And it's taking me on to God put a lot of love and care into creating and designing earth for us, to make it beautiful for us. Because he knew we would be cast out of heaven. So he created the animals. He gave us the flowers. He gave us the trees. He said, let there be, and it was. He gave us this light. He doing all this. He put a lot of heart into creating a home for us, a home away from home in this process. Earth is our home away from home. But the thing about this home away from home, his other creations want it. They don't want to be where they supposed to be. They want earth. That's why they trying to invade. They want this right here. They don't want to be nowhere but this. Because this is a reminder of heaven in this process. So when you got the light, when you got all this is the closest thing to heaven. So if they cast out of heaven, they gonna be drawn to earth. Yeah. So us, I ain't trying to get too deep, God. God, I ain't trying to get too deep with this. For real, because God trying to take me deep with this. So when you see the trees, when you see the colors, all of this is in a fallen state. But it's still parallel to where we came from. So it's like a reminder, so to speak, if that makes sense. Because God said, before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. So we all know what it's like in heaven. Now, it might be removed from our subconscious, but we all have had a taste of it. And I think that's why God, Jesus, like even with him being in my car, he never showed me his face. Because I wouldn't want to be on earth no more once I see him. So I think God, he give me like hell experiences and stuff like that. I ain't never had no heaven experience. And I know why. Because if I see heaven one time, I'm not coming back. Period. And God know this. God know how I'm built. So God know that if I get a taste of heaven or even like seeing Jesus' face, like certain things he had for me for a reason. He had for me because he know once I see it, it's nothing that's gonna want to keep me here. Like it's no way I'm gonna want to be on earth once he reveal and show me this. So it's certain things he intentionally leave out and he blocked from me because he already know. He know me better than me. And I'm already like, look, if I have a heaven experience, you think I'm finna come back to talk about heaven? I am not coming back. So God ain't gonna give me that type of experience. He might, but right now that's how I feel. I feel like he ain't gonna give me that type of experience because he know once I get a little taste of it, it's nothing that nobody can do to make me want to come to this earth and say I want to do this. It's nothing at that point. So he blocks that out. He blocks out certain things dealing with me, and it's all because he know me better than I know myself. So I trust the reasons why God don't show me heaven or Jesus can be right here. I didn't have a lot of encounter with Jesus, but his image is never revealed to me. It's a reason for that. So y'all enjoy y'all day. Be safe. So God want me to go into Matthew 18:18, and this is Jesus talking. This is the New Testament. This is Jesus talking, and I'm just talking about how we not really walking in our full potential, not even when it comes to earth and the resources that God has made available to us through earth. Like we just not walking in it. So I'm going to read 18:18 now. It says, surely I say to you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. Again, I say to you that if two of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. Surely I say to you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. Again, I say that if 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything that they ask, it will be done by them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. So, I mean, we all supposed to be working together. God created earth with a purpose. When God created it, everything was good. It was good. Me, I'm finna walk in my full authority out here. Like Jesus did it all the time. I remember even in the Bible when they were talking about the fish and they had to pay taxes. Remember that? Remember they had to pay taxes, and then Jesus, he got a fish and he had the money for them to pay all their taxes. And he exercised his authority within the earth. He know his authority within the earth. But Satan, he has created a spirit of fear through New Age. And if you use the earth that God gave you to work with you, then everybody call it witchcraft. New Age is a counterfeit ideology that took its ideals from Christianity, from the Bible. New Age took all this ideology from the Bible. It's a counterfeit. Counterfeit is not original. So when you're dealing with Satan, you're dealing with counterfeit. It got to be an original. It got to be a blueprint. The blueprint for New Age is the Bible. That's why it's so similar. We didn't take from New Age. New Age took from us. So you just got to walk in your authority out here in this process, you guys. And God put earth on me, put earth here for us to help us in the betterment of what we got going on out here. It all worked together. Earth serves so many purposes. Like I wouldn't even be able to read this whole Bible and go into everything dealing with earth. This video like an hour long, and it's still a lot in this Bible dealing with earth in this process. But me, like I said, I'm to the point where I'm just trying to get to the next level. I'm trying to get up higher with the eagles to get up to this level. Yeah, I'm just trying to open myself up to get to that level because God want to take you higher. And a lot of Christians, they not walking in their authority. Like they not walking in their authority at all. And so I'm like, where did cat come from? Let me stop. So a lot of people is not walking in their authority out here. And you can't really reap the full benefits of what God want to give you when you're not walking in your full authority out here. So me, earth serves a purpose. It serves a purpose as far as like having a place for all God's creation. He put it here within the earth. Like, he put it here within the earth. So I'm finna let y'all go, because what's come to me is the demons. Like when the Nephilim, like when Noah did the flood, and these entities was disembodied, when these angels, hybrid, half human, half angel hybrid, were disembodied, they have no body. They had nowhere to go. They couldn't go to heaven. They can't go to hell. Or can they go to hell? All I know is they can't go to heaven. So they stuck here with us. And this just me talking. That's our punishment. We represent a species, the women, and these particular women decided that they wanted to mate with these angels, and so they was in agreement with having these kids, because they wanted the offspring of these kids. So they wanted their kids to be like gods in this process. The women weren't as innocent as you think. That's why God cursed the women in this process. And so now when we deal with this hybrid, that's a curse. That's the curse. That's the curse of humankind. That's the curse that was inflicted on us. We got to deal with the torment of them, because we created that. That came from our creation. That came from us being Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in the laboratory. Yeah. So now we deal with the oppression and stuff like that. There's just like a sense of judgment for some people. But it can be overcome through Christ in this process. God take me somewhere with that right there too, about that and these species. Because it's like it's an irony to it. So you have to resist the flesh. So the only way to overcome these demons, because they feed on the flesh and they feed on your sin, is you have to starve the demons. You have to starve them. I mean, they can't eat nothing. So if they can't eat nothing, they're going to go somewhere where they can eat, because they trying to live. So you have to starve them. So that's just the curse of humanity, or a curse of the flesh, is them demons, which it feed on the flesh. And you have to starve the flesh to overcome the demons that was created through you, through us, through humankind, through the women's. Yeah, they wanted this. They wanted to mix with them angels. And yeah. So I'm finna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all be safe. Read y'all Bible. Try to get in your full authority. God wants you in your full authority out here. God wants you to be equipped out here in your full authority. You should be able to move mountains if you want to move a mountain. You through your faith. Whatever you want to do, you should be able to do out here. There shouldn't be nothing stopping you except for God himself if he say no, not now. That's the only thing should be stopping you from anything you trying to do out here. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day.